Everybody, welcome back to WikiGeek Sports. This is Power Play, and I'm joined, as always, by Chris Uminski. Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Brian. How are you doing?
Doing well. So, the time of recording right now, 6 o'clock on Sunday evening, one day after the first game of the Stanley Cup final. Uh, how are we feeling?
Well, I want to preface all of this by saying that I hate this Stanley Cup final. It's
Yes.
gonna be great. It's going to be a great series, but it's really hard to pick one team over the other.
Yes. So, can you explain why? Obviously, like we've talked about it, but just for everyone, all the Bruins stuff behind you
Yeah,
probably will tip it off. But yeah,
yeah.
give everyone the rundown.
I'm real salty about the first round series against the Panthers. And like as much as I like guys like Matthew Tkachuk, I me, along with the rest of Boston sports world, is not happy with just the South Florida sports market right now. I can't root for them.
Yeah, it's been tough. Obviously, I got to sit through both of the the series and then cover both of them. Not great, not great, but the first game, the Nuggets took it to the Heat, and in the first game of this, the Golden Knights took it to the Panthers. But that's not great for you either, right?
Right? Yeah, no, because as much as like I'm probably rooting for the Golden Knights in this series, but it Bruce Cassidy gets fired and then immediately wins a cup is not that part's not
Against the
fun to watch.
team that knocked the Bruins out after the
Yes.
Bruins had a historic year. It's
And that's
oof.
that's a whole other conversation.
Yeah,
But
it's not great. So I understand your conflicted feelings here. There's really no good answer, but at least there should be some good and fun hockey, right?
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's gonna be a good series. Florida. As much as I'm not rooting for them, they've been a very fun team to watch in these
Mhm.
playoffs. Um, and so is Vegas too. It's fun. It's fun to see Vegas in the final, I guess.
Again,
Yeah,
this is crazy. Two times in like what, 4 or 5 years?
yeah, yeah. Since the yeah, because their first year they made it to the cup final.
Crazy.
Um, but they've been really fun. Last night's game was fun.
Yeah.
That third period was exciting.
Especially if you're rooting for the Golden Knights. It was. Oh man. So we went into that one. It was 2-2. And then what happened? How did it get so away from Florida in that
It
third
was
period?
just I feel like offensively Vegas just exploded. Got the best of Florida's defense. They were playing
Mhm.
aggressive hockey. Um and just putting pucks on net, and it was they just were the better team last night.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was home for them, right?
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yes.
Yeah, so that helps, I feel like,
Oh yeah.
start the series off, home crowds behind you, good
Right.
energy, and then
Of the two home crowds that there are going to be, the
mhm,
one that I would be the most scared to play in front of is the Vegas crowd.
yeah. Although I will say, for Miami's credit, I saw because obviously I follow a lot of people who are down there who are Dolphins fans, so I have that
Right.
crossover. They had, like, really packed stadium for a watch party last night in their stadium.
Yeah, well, that's something that if you had asked me 3 or 4 years ago which NHL team I thought was the most likely to relocate someplace, it probably would have been the Florida Panthers.
Mhm,
But with the Lightning doing so well and the Panthers putting good teams on the ice these last few years, they're
yeah,
starting to build their fan base a little bit.
it's
Um,
great. I
and
think,
that's just good for hockey
I was about to say the same
in
thing.
general.
It's so good for the sport to have a warm market. Now, I mean, hey, two warm market teams in the final here.
While the rest of us traditional traditional hockey market people are crying, probably not as
Mhm.
much as the Canadians, but
Right, yeah. Oh man. All right. So after, that game, I don't know what your exact prediction was for the series, but has it changed at all? What are you thinking going forward?
So I think it's going to be Florida in 6. And that's probably what I thought it would have been too. Of these two teams, I think Florida's hot. I think Florida's more put together. The advantage that Vegas has is probably coaching and goaltending.
Right. As much as it pains you to say it. Yeah.
Yes. But I think that Florida's offense is scary. Matthew Tkachuk alone is scary.
Yeah, no doubt. Plus, yeah, I got the Overwatch League hat on. They have someone named Reinhardt, which is the character in Overwatch. Crazy. Every time he gets involved in a play, I'm just like, it's insane that this man's name is Reinhardt.
Yes. Yep. You got Carter Verhaeghe too on the Panthers, who's also insane.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see there, but any other like big storylines for this series that you wanted to talk about?
For this series, no. I mean, Vegas has the chance to win their first cup.
Mm-hmm.
Florida has the chance to win their second, but they haven't won a cup, I think, since the 90s was when they won theirs.
All right. So this is good. I mean, I think it's great that an expansion team has had so much success so quickly. Obviously, they missed the playoffs last year. We had a bit of fun with that. Like, oh, first time ever. It was like the third year that they existed. But, they're back here. It's cool. It makes me, confident that the league can continue to grow, can continue to bring in new markets, because I can't imagine there's much worse than like getting a team and then being like, well, they're going to suck for the next 10 years before they get it all figured out. This is very fun.
No, the NHL has done expansion very well the last few times that they've done it.
Yeah, I mean the Kraken were right in it too. They were in the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There was a point that I thought the Kraken were going to make it all the way to the final.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been fun. Remember round 1 when I was saying, "Oh, yep, gonna be a Kraken Bruins Stanley Cup final." Oh yeah. Nope.
So long ago now. So long, but anything else that you want to touch on that we haven't yet?
I think I'm all set for now. A couple of small things. Kyle Dubas just got hired as president of hockey operations in Pittsburgh.
All right,
that'll be interesting. He's been in Toronto for a very long time.
Mm-hmm. Dang, they have 1 year they make it out of the first round. He's leaving. Tough.
Well, I guess it wasn't his decision to leave there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not surprised. The writing was on the wall for there. But and then I guess there is an update sort of on our Blackhawks scandal story.
Okay.
A very small update. We talked about Joel Kenville with that, and he was the head coach of the Blackhawks at the time. And he was basically banned from the NHL, but has the opportunity to return with the commissioner's permission.
Right.
And I guess he just had a meeting with Gary Bettman and some of the other execs, and they told him that he's still not done enough outside of hockey to atone for his actions. So they're not going to let him back.
Yeah, I'm not terribly surprised that that's the outcome.
No, I'm not either.
I think it's going to be tough to come back. I mean, sports are the one like thing that it's like you could do pretty terrible things and still, I mean, Deshaun Watson got a $250 million contract. Like, it just seems like sports is a thing where it's like, well, it's fine.
Yeah, there is sort of a developing story coming out of Colorado. One of their big stars, Valerian Nichushkin.
Yeah, you sent me some body cam footage on this.
Yeah, I think it was last week that this happened. He was basically caught in his hotel room with an extremely drunk woman.
Mm-hmm.
She had to be removed. The police were called. I don't know the whole story behind it. Not a lot of us do, but Nichushkin has basically dropped off the face of the earth. He left the team that night. That's probably the reason that the Avalanche got eliminated. He's one of their better players. And we haven't heard much from him. There's an ongoing investigation. According to the Avalanche, he is still technically on the team for next year, but this is just something that just all of the hockey world is paying attention to, especially since this doesn't happen a lot in the NHL. So it's
right. Oh, yeah, we'll obviously update when there is something to update, but yeah, obviously that was one of the big news stories this week. Well, other than that, Chris, where can we find you online?
The best spot, probably Chris_Uminski on Twitter. For now. And then
For now, yeah, that's how I feel as well. I'm there for now.
At Chris Uminski on TikTok.
Awesome. Go follow him on those places. And you can follow me on Twitter at the FigMar. That's BMARR. And as Chris said, for now, as long as my relationship with Twitter is strained, to say the least.
Yes.
And yeah, you can follow the channel pretty much everywhere. Just search Wicked Good Sports. Chris, thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
We'll see you all in the next one.